realize right off the bat, they did tell me telepathically, when you make these beings, they carry our frequency. I was only allowed to make beings that work with the light. One time I decided I wanted to make a reptilian. But not the good reptilians. You know, there are good and there are bad. And there's nothing wrong with the bad, truly. For the bad are just as important as the good ones, because how do we know what love is if we haven't experienced what hate is? Or what pain is if we haven't experienced what the difference between not being in pain and having pain. Believe me, when you have a lot of broken bones, you know what pain is. So we learn through experiencing the differences. Now, one time, they would never allow me to make negative ones, and one day I saw this picture of a reptilian that people said raped women, bad reptilian, and I thought, well, you know, he's awfully pretty. I think I'll make him anyway. I started making him, and all of a sudden, the being said to me, no, we don't want you to do that one. And I said, but I want to. We do not want you to. Now, they speak in a collective, by the way. And I said, I don't care what we want. I want to find out if I'm an artist, because I don't make these by myself. You work through me to make these sculptures. I want to find out if I even have any artistic talent. So they shut their mouth. And I made a reptilian, and he was gorgeous, and he was perfect. I was so proud, and I pushed him up into the middle of this big 6-foot-long island, grabbed some more clay, and started making another sculpture. And the next thing I know, the sculpture goes flying off of the counter, smashed face down, unrecognizable. And the message was, that which you make, you bring that frequency into the world. Okay, I got it. Only benevolent beings. Now, what I want you to do, because when they told me their frequency is in these beings, these sculptures, they told me, in fact, they even called me a straw. I am a straw for which the fluid flows. So when I do hands-on, they come through me, and whatever sculpture I am making, they put their frequency in them. And the longer I work on them, the more empowered they are. And for an example, one time, actually this last February, when I was in Laughlin. Anybody go to Laughlin? Laughlin? Okay, good. There's been a few of you guys went to Laughlin, to the International UFO Congress, and I got home at midnight, and I was so tired, and I rode with another person, or had another person ride with me, and we were getting things out, and I wasn't paying attention, and one of the sculptures, a Zeta, a kind of a green-looking Zeta, fell out of my car and broke. And so I thought, oh darn, I have to fix it. Well, it took me an hour and a half to fix it, and I had to hold the head onto the neck, and then I had to rebuild the neck, and blah, blah, blah. A paranormal matrix came out to my house to film me making sculptures and to show pictures of all my sculptures. And by the way, this is going to be on TV. I haven't yet got a date for the release, but they will be showing this on TV. And as they're filming all the sculptures, all of a sudden they came to the one that had broken, that I had repaired. And because I put in extra time repairing it, it had so much frequency, their camera, which had a stabilizer in it, went nuts and was vibrating. And let me tell you, everyone there, but one man who was an agnostic, everyone there was 8 crew people filming this, were believers. They had never seen anything like this ever. I've had people take dowsing rods and literally set a sculpture down and take a dowsing rod and go right up to the sculpture, and when they get within 10 to 15 feet, sometimes if it's a sculpture that was broke that I had to repair, they get 20 feet away and those rods open wide up. That tells you what kind of frequency they have. I thought they were joking when somebody told me that they used dowsing rods on it, so I started doing it. And I'll be darned if I didn't forget my dowsing rods. but they open up, wide up. I was just absolutely blown away. I'm going, whoa, that's okay. That's cool. Now, those who have sculptures, what I want you to do is, first of all, I want you to all to relax, take deep breaths. Big, big, deep breaths, and just totally relax and allow yourself to be one. And then I want you to, as you're holding the sculptures, or if you have a necklace, hold the necklace, and imagine that piece as if it's an extension of your arms, and hold it. Allow it to become part of you, and allow yourself to feel the energy. Feel the energy. You may feel tingling. You may feel pulsing. It may even speak to you. Don't be surprised if it's telepathically speaking to you. Feel the energy of them. And while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you a little story. Last July, when I was, last May, when I was, a year ago May, doing a conference in Alamo, Nevada. The day before I left to do the conference, I was told to sit down at the computer and to write. And all of a sudden, this is what came out. The source was, just was, all that is. The source knew all, was all. And the source decided that it wanted to know what it was like not to be all, not to know all. So the source made selves. And the source made worlds for selves to live on. And each self would have a container that it would be allowed to live on these planets. Source selves are the light, the soul light connected to the source. I don't have time to do a regression tonight, but I will tell you this, that I did a regression with these people. I took them down and I took them to another planet. And I started introducing one by one each of the beings to them. And then I took them from the planet, and the planet disappeared. And all of the beings throughout the universe that I had introduced them to, they all were holding hands. And then all of a sudden, I had their bodies, their containers, disappear. And all that was left was their source light, the soul within. Now imagine a circle of light. Now imagine off in the distance, in outer space, comes a big, big, bright light. And it's moving quickly through the universe, and it comes down in the center of all these little light beings. The big light is the source, the creator, the source itself, all that is. And all the little lights that represent the souls of the beings throughout the universe are all source selves. And the light expels umbilical cords that goes out to each and every light. So it looks almost like a wheel with the spokes in the middle. We are all connected to those of the universe. And the way that you have contact with them is simply by releasing the container, going within, connecting with the source, the creator of all, and opening up your heart to communicate with your brothers and sisters throughout the universe.